In Britain, motorways make up just 1% of all the roads, yet they carry a fifth of the traffic. The daddy of them all, the M1, has been keeping traffic cops in Bedfordshire busy day and night for half a century now.
Over the years, the traffic on that road has increased dramatically. And consequently, with all that traffic, sometimes things go wrong, which we have to deal with.
The traffic cops are specialists when it comes to dealing with accidents and speeding motorists on the motorway. But they're also always on high alert for criminals using it as an escape route.
Yeah, love, link firm 99 en route.
It's gone 2 in the morning, and there's been a report of a burglary in Luton. The suspected burglars are heading for the M1.
Vehicle pursuit in Luton. Not sure of details of the vehicle at the moment. It's on the perimeter of Luton, up near the airport.
PC Craig Baker and his Sergeant Tony Richardson are already on the M1 and preparing to head off the vehicle.
Where is it now?
Right, go up towards junction 10.
Okay.
Another traffic cop has beaten them to the chase and is behind the getaway car.
He's got the follow.
He's got it?
Yeah, he's got it. We got a traffic unit behind it at the moment, Keith. We probably will pick it up coming down. We'll try and get it on the motorway, and then with half, depending what way we go, we can look at putting tactics into place.
The traffic cops are specially trained in pursuit management tactics, PMT, which they will employ to surround the car on the motorway and force it to a halt. In case that plan doesn't come off, the police helicopter with its night vision camera has been called for.
150, we're going to hold at 10, and if you get to us, Keith, we're going to try and push it on junction 10 southbound.
The idea of keeping the vehicle on the motorway is it's a much more sterile area that we can deal with. We got authority?
Yeah. Yeah, here it comes. Is it coming this way? No, towards Luton.
Stand by. We're London Road.
London Road now.
Towards Luton.
But something has gone wrong.
Unfortunately, instead of coming my direction, it decided to turn towards Luton.
It's just what the cops didn't want.
It was the worst route it could take us towards the town centre, because that's the one place you want to try and keep it out of, because at that time of night, that's where you're likely to have pedestrians, is in the town centre.
1-1.
Luckily, help's arrived in the shape of the chopper overhead. The crew have got the thieves on their thermal imaging camera, with a patrol car of PC Keith Nicholson and PC Chris Norton right on their tail.
We're now passing the police station. He didn't want to stop there.
They're not in any hurry to pull over, but unlike some pursuits, this isn't particularly high-octane, high-risk stuff, and the police are not having any difficulty following them.
Towards Telford Way, where he's indicating left.
For some reason, he just wanted to tell us where he was going, which is uncommon. So it was fairly easy to follow him.
And it's been fairly easy for Tony and Craig, call sign 150, to catch up to what is now a convoy.
We don't want to be chasing it forever and ever, because the longer the chase goes on for, the more likelihood of someone getting injured, car crashing, or something going wrong.
150 ARV, can just be aware we're going to come alongside you in a minute. And 150, we've got a rear panda. Can the panda break off as soon as, please? Obviously look for a decamp, but not to be directly involved, please. We're second in the convoy.
The plan is still to try and box the car in, but it's a very risky manoeuvre, especially not on the motorway.
Ask Keith if he wants to take over in his marked car.
150 298, Keith, do you want us to take over as a marked police vehicle?
Approaching the roundabout, dual end, stand by.
Oh, for that was it, yeah.
Take it afterwards.
Yeah, we'll take it after the roundabout, copy.
The Sarge is taking over the pursuit. It's a safer option than having an unmarked police car leading the way.
Now towards Dunstable.
Tony came along from behind, and he's the pursuit commander, so he took over. He was in the marked vehicle, and then we just followed from there.
1261's drive.
Chris has been a bobby on the beat for 5 years, but has only just joined traffic. Being on a pursuit so soon is a real bonus.
It's not a common thing nowadays, unless it's a high-powered car and they're trying to get away. Generally, most family cars, the just don't even bother.
It is still safe to follow.
It's not a common thing either for a driver being chased to be so considerate by signalling his intentions.
Indicating near side, and we've got first exit. We're now Luton Road towards Dunstable.
Maybe his plan is to just keep on going and outlast his pursuers, in which case he could be in luck.
We've only got 26 miles of petrol.
All right, come back to you.
It would have been really, really embarrassing if I'd have run out of petrol and just waved goodbye to the baddie as he went off.
Speed 7.5, brake lights on, braking, stand by.
The cops are being led
On the roundabout.
round and round in circles.
Not two. Not three. We've taken effectively the first exit with A5055 path towards Leighton Buzz.
Running on fumes, it's now or never for Tony and Craig.
Right,
Go, Carmen.
Keith, I'll go past. Tell
150, 298. Do you want to try going past on the offside to get in front? We'll try and contain it.
With Craig calling the shots, the team's going into action.
Yep, no, you're clear.
Okay, 150, we've got 298 in front, we're rear vehicle. Okay, slow down there, Keith.
Road ahead, still clear.
Okay, 150, we're going to go offside. We're going offside, we're containing it. Middle lane, okay.
Hold back, Keith, pull back.
Pull back, Keith. Okay, get ready. Okay, we've got 2 occupants. Okay, let's go for it.
But Craig's got a problem. He's trapped in. And now he's been beaten to the arrest
You're Nick Chum for burglary.
by the rookie traffic cop.
Laid your line in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand? Yeah. Stand up.
I wasn't going to let him go. Even if Tony and Keith got there first, I wasn't going to let him go. It was my body. I was chasing him.
Let's have a look at your face.
Chris isn't the only one who's new to all this.
They were just 2 young kids. Really young. I think it was 15, 17 years old. Who didn't even have a licence.
You do not have to say anything.
2 years ago, Chris made more arrests than any other officer in Bedfordshire.
What's the name, buddy?
Now he's on the traffic department. His number of arrests are lower, but his excitement is higher.
Yeah, it's my first follow in 5 years, so I think that's the best time I've ever had in a traffic car.
They're going to get a divisional for him to get him back. Divisional supervisors coming down for that. Beautiful job.
I would say that is 100% superb driving.
All incidents involving police cars have to be investigated. And if there's any damage, a supervisor will have to be called in and a report filed. But Tony's confident he won't be getting in any trouble.
Where are you going?
No, I'm going that way. I was expecting a little bit of damage because they were the way they were driving. And if you bring in a vehicle to a stop like that, you expect a little bit of damage.
But extraordinarily, there isn't any,
Teacup.
apart from a little scratch and a bent mirror.
Teacup minus mirror.
Thank you. The Hedgewell Court job, I take it they were all checked in order, were they?
See, there you go.
Yes,
Teacup.
Done.
Tony has now got to be breathalyzed.
Every person we deal with, whether it's police officers, ambulance, fire, members of the public, everyone involved in a crash, collision, will be breathalyzed, and that's no different for me.
Slits around the tube and blow continuously until I tell you to stop.
Tony's practically out of gas. And air.
0.
Bingo.
But he hasn't been drinking.
And he wants to retire soon. He won't go.
I tell you what, I didn't have a cool head when I looked over and realised you hadn't filled the poxy thing up.
We're dropping there. 26 miles to run. Hey, who says my fault I didn't fill it up?
Well, you were the last one to have it.
Now it is time for Tony to get tanked up.
I think we need to go and get some petrol.
Yes.
Slicing through the heart of Bedfordshire is the busiest stretch of the whole of the M1. 30 miles of it, nearly all affected by years of carriage-widening roadworks.
With the roadworks, a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit, so when things do go wrong, they're a lot slower, and therefore not as many people get hurt and injured. But there's some nasty incidents occur.
In a small room at Toddington service station, CCTV is being monitored around the clock should any nasty incidents happen. And this evening, something very nasty has happened. A major disaster has struck. A 40-ton truck has careered over the central reservation, smashing into the busy traffic travelling in the opposite direction. Tony and Craig are rushing to the scene. They need to get there fast.
En route, obviously, to the motorway, just under the Toddington services, a report of a lorry going over Central Reservation. We've got a unit at scene at the moment. With regards to casualties, we've got one person at least, and that person's currently unconscious.
They call these crossovers, the very worst kind of accident on a motorway.
If we have a crossover, and thank goodness they're pretty rare, all I can think of is the worst. Invariably, one of those vehicles, the one that's crossing over, will be a heavy, because you know, they're the ones that can actually get through the barriers. On every single one of those occasions, there will be carnage, and it's only a matter of luck whether there's going to be serious injury, but most probably death.
Fortunately, the rush hour's over, and getting to the motorway has been straightforward.
The main issue on a major crash like that is making sure that access is available to the emergency services. So if we need any more ambulances or fire engines, that they're not stuck in traffic.
But access all of a sudden is a problem.
What buffoon is turning around down here?
People are trying to escape being trapped on the motorway by turning back up the slip road.
No process contemplated. Breath test was attempted, but obviously not.
What don't help is when you've got people down here doing U-turns and trying to come back up. Once we've got an agreement we can do it safe, it's fine. But you've got people here turning around already. And then what they forget, if any interferes with the emergency services coming, we've got fire engines that's coming down, it then hinders everything getting here.
Good night.
But you can see now how quick the carnage, you've got the whole motorway stopped.
All three lanes were blocked. Lane 3 of the other carriageway was blocked, and there was carnage.
Okay, can you put me off as well?
150,000 vehicles a day use this part of the M1. With it at a standstill, the whole region could grind to a halt, and literally millions could be affected. But Tony's main concern is for the people involved in the smash and those helping them.
Nice. Well, not so nice.
Thank you. Or maybe you want to do
When we first get there, it is most definitely the fire service and ambulance's job, and we stay out of the way and make it as easy as it can be for those.
Against all the odds, no one has been killed. Somehow, the driver of this car, a VW Passat, has survived being hit head-on by the out-of-control lorry.
So where's the sailor? He's down there. He's just down there on the floor. What's happened?
And unbelievably, he isn't badly hurt. The driver of the lorry is being treated in the ambulance, but it's not clear what exactly his injuries are.
This guy here managed to stagger out of the vehicle of his own accord, where he's lost consciousness just down there. He was unconscious, breathing at the time. The driver of the wagon pretty much collapsed at the roadside. The paramedics suspected that he had spine, pelvis, neck injuries, so they were obviously very concerned about him.
When we got there, Andy went to the lorry driver. I went straight to the Passat, expecting the driver to be in a mess, and he had a bump on his wrist. And it's almost one of those things where you can't believe it's happening to you. You're looking around to say, this can't be it. This really can't be it. We just expected there to be bodies everywhere.
The man's injuries are negligible, but he's off to hospital anyway.
Looking at the damage to the Passat, I was amazed that anyone could walk out of it. I know the guy was carried away on a spinal board, but as I understand it, that was purely precautionary measure, and he had virtually no injuries at all afterwards.
One thing has saved him.
He's wearing his seatbelt. If you look in the car, you can see the seatbelt's still in the same position, it's not retracted. So he's definitely had his belt on. Can you imagine if he weren't wearing that? I'll be knocking on somebody's door about now.
Looking around, it can be seen that the dividing barriers were simply flattened by the lorry. For the rest of the lucky survivors, it'll be a moment they will never, ever forget.
All I could see was he was in the middle lane as he should be, and all of a sudden he just reared off, and then he just took off, and he was like, he flew through the air. It's really frightening thing. I think I've been seeing it for a long time. I'm going to cry now. Yeah, it's scary.
I dread to think what they were thinking when it was coming towards them, and knowing that they were going to hit it head on, and there was absolutely nothing they could do about it.
And the traffic all going along here, I suppose, doing about 50 miles an hour, because I think it's in an average speed camera zone, so probably if people were going faster, it would have been worse, so you had time to, just slow down.
We'd spoken to a few witnesses, and once the initial shock of everything had calmed down for people, it became obvious that there was a fault, probably either with the driver of the lorry or maybe with the lorry itself.
Although no one's died, the fact that it could so easily have been a catastrophe means the southbound carriageway is going to remain closed for quite some time, while investigators find out exactly what went wrong.
After having come across the central reservation, he hit the Passat head on, and ended up in lane 1 and stopped, and then after a few seconds moved over to the hard shoulder. And apparently after a few seconds he got out and then collapsed. There was a suggestion that he was taken ill at the wheel. If there is a potential for a fatal or a life-changing, we will pull out all the stops to investigate.
Eventually, when we've made one, we're going to spin all this round, take it off the onslaught.
Superb. Okay.
I'm just lighting up some glass.
I'll take that from you.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a huge decision when you think about it to close off a main arterial route like the M1 motorway to do your investigation. And it's a big decision to take.
Despite the cost, the motorway will remain closed until the investigation's complete. When they're not chasing car thieves or picking up the pieces after bad crashes, the traffic cop's stock in trade is enforcing motoring laws. Even coming to the end of a long shift, PC Shona Gillen is more eager than most to catch illegal motorists.
It can be hectic sometimes. She's buzzes like a bee, and she's always after everything. But she gets results, so it's good.
I just think that's come from years of experience. It's 11 years of me stopping vehicles and stopping people. You generally get this feel, and you go with your gut instinct.
Coming up to some traffic lights on the outskirts of Luton, Shona's got that feeling about a car going past the other way.
Yes. This car here has just gone past. I should come out and patrol around here more often, you know. As the driver came around the corner, he had this kind of reddish complexion on his face and just didn't look quite right. And initially I thought he was a drink driver.
Under the Road Traffic Act, Shona can stop and request any driver to produce their documents.
Something just clicked inside me. I thought, that car needs stopping. Let's go to the left.
And there's no time to waste. The car's pulling over, but suspiciously, 2 passengers have got out rather promptly.
We need the driver, don't we?
They didn't run away, but it was like they didn't want to be associated with having been in the car. I would certainly bet an awful lot that there was something in that car.
Is this your vehicle?
Yes, it's my car. Yeah.
The driver seems quite amenable,
I've just been hotel.
if a little vague.
Drink today?
No.
Okay. You've got a brake light out.
Oh, have I?
Where do these people live?
They live hotel way. Well, not them people.
So they don't live here?
Yeah, well, they asked me to drop them. They said they knew
Matt?
someone here.
He said he lived there, he doesn't.
I know, you don't. Come back here. Come back here, both of you.
I was able to go down the road and just catch up with one of the other 2. The lady continued round the corner, conveniently.
This is now, that's our mum's house.
That's her mum's house.
Yeah,
So where are you going now?
Nowhere. Just going round to the back garden.
Why?
So we can get in.
Why can't you get in the front?
Because she's not in, she's went up in the back garden in the shed. Come round with you, if you want.
Have you got any identification with you?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Just round the back, apparently.
The man's story is a good one, but typically, Shona hasn't bought it.
I locked the traffic car, and as I've run round the corner, she was quite a way away up that road, so there was no way that she was going into the back garden of that house, which is what Matey Boy had initially said.
What were you going in that house for then?
Because that's where her mum lives.
What were you going in that house for?
I went to the wrong house. Well, that's not my mother, is it? I just got the house mixed up.
I said, is that your house? You said yes.
No, I meant that one. I'm not in no rush.
Where have you come from?
Clapham Road.
Pardon?
Clapham Road.
They were so vague. No, you can tell when someone has to suddenly think before they can tell you what they're doing. Then you know they're making it up.
It's all right, love. I've told him.
Shona's managed to get the woman.
What's your postcode?
Now that is, I'm not too sure. What's our postcode, love? That's it. I'm never too sure the postcode.
And what's your name?
If they hadn't been in such a hurry to disappear, they might not have aroused any suspicion. But now, after all their flim-flam, Shona's going to follow her hunch and search their car.
I believe that there was something in that vehicle that they didn't want us to find. So I searched the vehicle under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act.
Shona's instinct is spot on. They've been on a shopping spree.
It's got the security tag still around it. It's worth quite a bit of money, really, which is obviously why they've just decided to get out and walk away.
There's also some pliers, handy for removing the security tags. All in all, a tidy haul of toiletries worth over £200.
They've obviously just committed a theft from shop, which is why they wanted to get away in the first place and why both the passengers had got out the vehicle to disassociate themselves with anything that was in that car.
I want bloody nose. Can I go and get a tissue out of my car? Oh, okay.
What's your name, Flower?
My name's Charles Lord.
Charles?
Yeah.
Charles, have you ever been in trouble with the police before? Have you been arrested?
Yeah.
Are you well known to us?
No.
Okay. He reminded me of somebody's granddad, really. He seemed quite nervous. He was being very woolly about his answers. He didn't really know why he dropped them off or who lived at that address. And he was kind of playing a bit dumb.
They said they'd want me to drop them here.
And all it was doing was just arousing my suspicions even further.
Yeah.
We found some items in a carrier bag in the car.
Yeah.
Are they yours?
No, they had bags with them.
What kind of bags did they have with them?
I don't know, I think the green bag, I didn't really take out notes.
Right, okay.
I think.
Oh dear, but it's in your car.
I take it you're saying there's something in there that shouldn't be there.
Well, quite possibly.
Okay.
But
well,
I'm
I don't know
asking
the
for
way.
your account before we
yeah,
do
no,
anything about
they're not my bags. They're not my bags.
What have they got in the back?
Don't wander off, please.
No, we won't.
Yeah.
And then in the front we have another Waitrose bag and a pair of pliers. That's why they've wandered off and said they live there and then they're done.
Yeah, basically wanted anyway. I'm just trying to run her through.
A check of the man in glasses has revealed he likes to do a bit of shopping, but he's not one for loyalty cards.
I think he was wanted for a number of offences in Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire and a warrant as well. So he was going nowhere.
Nowhere apart from the nick. All three are going to be arrested on suspicion of shoplifting.
OK, what's happening is you two are both also under arrest. Suspicion of theft. On suspicion of theft and going equipped.
Tell him, please.
You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you fail to mention.
Tell you the truth, he did it.
There's little honour amongst these thieves.
It's something that I'm sure they've sort of pre-arranged that if they get caught, he'll take the blame.
He's just taken full responsibility.
Well, at the end of the day, getting out and running off up the road isn't the actions of an innocent party.
They'll stick together up to the point where there's no return, and then they'll just dump each other in it.
Their supermarket sweep has earned them today's star prize, a trip to the police station. Back on the M1, the investigation into why there was nearly a disaster on the motorway has begun. The question is, why did the lorry cross over to the other side of the road? A specialist accident investigator has arrived to take stock of all the evidence.
The first walkthrough is let's see what you've got, and then speak to the people in charge. And you then start to pick out the barrier was down. You've then got a mass of vehicles, and in particular one seriously damaged vehicle, and then it's sort of then blocked out.
Although the suspicion is that the lorry driver is to blame for the crash, Bob will do whatever it takes to ensure there weren't any other reasons for it.
You've got to get it right, and you only ever have one chance. It therefore has to be done properly and correctly at the time, and you know, if it takes a couple of more minutes extra, then you know that's what you've got to do.
Even though it's the first real big crash he's been to, Chris has been put in charge.
Everybody's doing their little bit, and one person has to take the investigation on. Because there wasn't any apparent serious injuries and it wasn't life-changing, then it's just one of the officers that turns up. It becomes their job to investigate. So it was my turn, being the new boy.
The lorry driver's initial account was that he had begun to feel unwell and had intended to pull off at the next junction just a few hundred metres further on. Another witness still at the scene, the driver of a southbound lorry that narrowly escaped being hit, remembers graphically what happened next.
As he came over, he wasn't even in the driver's seat. It threw him out the seat. He was over the other side of the cab, so I could see his high-vis jacket. And so I ran up there when it had all stoplight and helped him out. And he thinks he passed out. So. Yeah, scary stuff.
He's gone from lane 1 of a 3-lane motorway, gone straight across, over the central reservation, collided with 2-3 cars, collided with a camper van, then parked up. He said he doesn't remember anything, and then he woke up slumped at the wheel, and then he couldn't open his door, so he climbed out of his cab window, fell to the floor, and he was then seen to by a first aider before the ambulances arrived.
But for Bob, something doesn't quite add up.
No, we got an impact. The lorry's come through, got an impact on this near side reservation, and then we got an oil trail all the way along here. And then it finishes in lane 1, and then the lorry's moved across to the hard shoulder. There's a bit of a strange scenario going on here at the moment.
From the evidence, it appears that the lorry came to a rest, but it then moved again to its final position on the hard shoulder.
You work your way through the scene, and obviously there then is another movement of the vehicle. Is that again consistent with someone that is ill at the wheel? You know, they've actually come to rest in lane 1. They've got they've stopped their vehicle facing the wrong way in a live running lane. I'll move the vehicle onto the hard shoulder where it's safer. I don't know. I mean, to me, it just, if it's come to rest, it's come to rest. Why move the vehicle?
It's been nearly 7 hours since the accident brought the southbound M1 to a halt. Once the barriers are repaired, it will at last be reopened. The cops' investigation will resume in the morning. Long after their shift was supposed to have finished, Shona and Matt are still hard at work, dealing with the suspected shoplifters.
Once all three had been booked into custody, I had to make sure that there weren't any further outstanding offences for them that they'd need to be arrested for and interviewed for at a later date. And I was really surprised with the amount of intelligence that was popping up for all three of them. It's a possible warrant for this chap. Non-payment of fines.
Warrants have been issued for the arrest of all three of them for previous suspected offences.
An outstanding warrant of £625, so she's not going anywhere tonight. He has a warrant, a non-payment of fines warrant, for £257.84. So once he's been dealt with for the theft, he'll be arrested for non-payment, so he's not going anywhere tonight. He's going to court tomorrow morning.
The man in glasses and the woman appear to be serial shoplifters and have even been caught on CCTV. It's expensive booze as well as toiletries that they seem to be interested in. They just pop it straight into their shopping bag and calmly walk out.
Come out there, please. Get away from that.
The man is a drug user and shoplifts to fund his habit.
How much are you on a day, methadone was?
I'm not on there, I haven't got the script. So.
Most, I would say, most shoplifting, in fact, pretty much most crime is drug-based. You can see that on the people that we've stopped. A pretty pathetic little group, really, when you think about it. But that's their life, that's their lifestyle, and they're not going to change until they get off the drugs.
Because of the amount of thefts uncovered, the police have got authorisation to search the suspects' houses.
They've gone to do Section 18s on the property to see what stolen property, if any, is at their home addresses. So what's going to happen now is they'll be kept in the cells till tomorrow morning and interviewed for the offences we've arrested them today for and the outstanding crimes. And then they'll be sent to court and then dealt with at Hertfordshire for the other outstanding crimes they've got.
Sometimes, even minor road traffic accidents warrant a fast response. News is coming in of another collision, not on the motorway this time, but on an estate in Luton, where it's reported the driver involved doesn't want to stick around.
Me? Yeah. 1261?
Yeah, well, immediate damage at the RTC.
Again?
One of the offenders is trying to get away.
Yeah, we did have to get there quite quick because obviously we don't want the driver disappearing. It could suggest numerous things, whether it could be a stolen vehicle, someone's trying to leg it from, or it's just an exaggeration on someone's part, but someone's looking to walk away. You just don't know till you arrive.
There we are. When we got there was a number of people in the street all debating about a crash that had occurred.
Everyone all right?
My initial actions were to find out who was actually involved in it, as opposed to who the passers-by and who the onlookers were.
I live next door to him, yeah. This fella.
Sorry, hang on. So you're living
neighbour, yeah.
at number 64, 68, 70. You're at 68.
Yeah, I don't know what this is for.
Yeah. Okay. This is whose car?
My car, yeah.
Okay. And the other car is?
The driver involved is still here.
That one there.
That fella there.
That's okay. And what happened then?
Just, car moving here.
Something happened to the suspension.
Yeah.
And he smashed into the car.
That's
Something happened to your suspension and you smashed into the car?
just eyes on, eyeglasses, a bit of problem.
You can't see?
So that's why.
Oh, right.
Oh, his suspension gave way, yes, yeah. I think we soon discounted that, and he came up with the suggestion that he'd put on the wrong glasses and actually couldn't see.
You can't see?
No, I can't see.
You can't see anything? Why are you driving if you can't see?
No, sorry,
It's no good being sorry. You could kill someone, couldn't you?
No, I am not driving fast.
You're not driving fast? Okay. So you just knocked someone down very slowly then? Yeah, okay.
What are you calling?
I think we've got a problem with you, young man, don't you?
No, always I'm just a hard-working person.
Okay, right. You got a licence on you?
I got detailed now.
Have you got a driving licence?
No.
You don't have a driving licence?
No, I have, but not in my pocket.
Okay, do you have insurance for the vehicle?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
construction company.
Production company? Construction company?
Yeah, with the photographer.
Okay, we'll take a few details from you, all right?
Yeah.
You come and sit in our car for us, all right?
The man with the glasses has managed to drive into somebody's parked car.
Just a bit of mistake.
No, that's all right. You sit in the car.
Just a slight error of judgment, he says.
And I'll talk to you.
Basically, you've got a parked car here. The guy the sergeant's speaking to at the moment has, I'm not sure which way he's been going yet. I think he's been coming down the road. And for an unknown reason, he's gone into the side of him. And it transpires his vision isn't very good. And he's already said he shouldn't be driving because he can't see.
You drive him, but you can't see through your glasses? Why?
You can see my glasses. Someone crossing here. He's a headlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, you need...
You can understand my problem.
Yeah, you need to go to the opticians, don't you?
Yeah, I always go to Space Saver.
Getting his glasses from Space Savers could be the problem.
Raminder?
28th.
Yep.
09.
Yep.
74.
74?
Yeah.
Okay.
The neighbours have taken a dim view of what's gone on.
What can I tell you about it? Nothing.
We just had a bang.
Just that I hope he's insured for to cover the damage, that's all.
Bill, have you look at your car, the whole back end's gone in. See the suspension has moved in. Yeah.
There must be a lot of damage.
A lot of damage. The car's probably right off.
You can't even open the door, you know, the door is just jammed. You know what I mean?
You don't even more damage. What do you think there?
Just done.
Yep.
Right, let's see how bad your eyesight is then, shall we?
He's going to be made to read a licence plate, a test recognised by the highway code.
Tell me what that car registration number is, with your glasses on.
No, I can't see, you know, it's a spray.
Right, with your glasses on, tell me what that number is.
To pass, he must be able to read it from 20 metres away.
You can't see it. Okay. Walk a bit further, closer. Okay.
Yeah.
You can see it where? Now?
J-O-J.
J-O-J? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Do us a favour, hold that. Just there. Okay.
Because of something on his glasses, concrete spray, he says, he can only see the number from 10 metres. He's failed the test. If only he'd gone to Space Savers.
The test is 20 metres, and he could see after 10 metres this number plate, which was a bit of a concern to me, the fact that he was driving in the dark in these glasses, only being able to see that much.
Right, that there, providing you can see it, is the details of the car you hit. Okay, it's got the gentleman's name, his insurance company, his address. You need to tell the insurance company. All right? Have you got somebody that can go through it with you at home and show you what it says? Okay. Okay. That could have been a person he drove into. Needn't have been a car. It could have been anything.
What happened here? Just some spray on my eyeglasses, so that's why. I feel guilty. I feel shame. But I am only British single guys who is doing to work concrete finisher. Tall, skinny guy. You can see my arm. You can see everything. But I feel shame. I am not going to any drive more.
As is the norm for any road accident, the driver is going to be put through the procedure of a breath test.
Have you drunk any alcohol in the last 24 hours? No? Good man. Okay, because you've been involved in a road traffic collision, okay, I'm going to require a specimen of breath. Have you ever done this before?
No.
No?
No, in my life.
Okay, no problem. Do you understand what I'm telling you, yeah? Okay, so your lips around the tube, long continual breath, blow. Keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing, and stop.
Yeah.
Okay, what it does now, analyses your breath for me, and it'll tell me, if anything, if you've got any alcohol in your system. From what you're telling me, it should come up 0.
Tomorrow we have to do...
but it hasn't. Even for a seasoned traffic cop like Craig, the reading that has come up is a complete shock.
Are you seriously not drunk any alcohol?
It's well over the 35
You're lying
limit.
to me. You're under arrest. Okay, you're
The
under
man
arrest.
appears to be blind drunk.
Limit. You don't have to say anything, but in my armed defence, I mention that's something we shall outline in court, and if you do so, maybe give evidence.
Come on, this way.
Nice try.
Right.
134. At that reading, you expect to be seeing signs. Some form of sign, be it slurred speech, staggering a bit, not making sense with your words.
Actually, being 4 times the limit as he is, most people wouldn't still be standing.
I think both myself and Craig thought that the machine might have been a little bit wrong, because the guy walked, talked, didn't smell of any alcohol, and as far as I was concerned, he was as sober as anyone. A little bit of what?
Only vodka and one beer.
Vodka and a beer?
Yeah. Only.
How much vodka did you have?
That much.
Just that much and a beer?
No, beer is full, but only that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're telling me today,
Yeah.
you've only had 1 vodka,
Yeah.
and 1
beer.
How many?
Two beer.
And 2 beers.
Yeah. I'm not a bad guy.
No. No, I'm saying you're a bad guy, but we'll see what your reading is.
Because I can't see. It's concrete spray.
I think what we'll go with is you can't see, and you've had a bit too much to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a fairer.
Yeah. I can understand. It's my fault.
I mean, him himself, he's a very personable guy. But at the end of the day, he's a potential killer. And that's why we have to get him off the road.
The roadside breathalyzer is normally pretty accurate. Even so, the man who's still showing no outward signs of being drunk is going to be tested again on a specially calibrated machine.
You know, he was walking steadily and he was talking all right, his eyes looked okay. Everything said that he was sober.
For the offence of? Positive breath test at a road traffic collision. While we're waiting, can you put everything in your pockets on here for me, please? He took him back to custody, where we booked him in with the custody sergeant. He obviously saw the funny side of it as well, because people just haven't seen it. To get the blind and the drunk in one go, and especially to be standing like he was, he did throw a lot of officers.
What are they?
Equally bizarre is what's in his pockets.
You don't know what they are?
After drink.
You have them after a drink?
Oh my God, that could be the problem.
No, I don't know.
They are in fact poppy heads, used to make poppy tea, which can contain morphine.
Are these poppies?
Despite being in his pockets, the man doesn't seem to know anything about them.
Hang on, they're in your pocket?
No, my jacket.
It's not your jacket?
No, my friend's jacket.
It's your friend's?
After my drink, I wear his jacket and then drive.
It was quite comical the way he come out with everything, just to try and push it all away and know it's nothing to do with him.
Right, come on then. Go on, keep going, go on, go on, go on, go on, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, go on, lovely, we've done it. All right. Okay, do you want to sit down before you fall down? Right, well, unfortunately you're just over the limit by a little bit. Sort of about 4 times the limit. Yeah, 4 times the limit.
The reading backs up the initial roadside test.
M1.
He's going to need some real tea to help him sober up.
He had a wife and he's got children as well.
12.
And he did state that the day after he was going up north with his family and he'd be under the influence of alcohol with those in the car. So it's just a crash waiting to happen.
In Luton, Shona is back on duty and on the lookout for more bad drivers. She doesn't find it hard because, for some reason, she's got a knack of being in the right place at the right time.
Being on traffic gives me a chance to just do what I enjoy doing best, really, and reacting to circumstances and being able to go hunting. But 9 times out of 10, you're bound to come across something. And that, unfortunately, or fortunately for me, just happens to be my way, that things come to me without me having to look too hard.
Already, something has caught her eye.
What were these two getting up to over here? My attention was drawn to 2 guys at the side of quite a nice Jaguar car parked up. It just looked like it'd been dumped, just literally driven in and stopped.
Hello? Yeah, whose car's that then? Yeah.
Fine.
Is it yours, is it?
Yeah.
Are you driving it?
Yeah, well, not at the moment, no.
Why, what's the matter with it?
It's got something wrong with it underneath.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, heavens. Where have you driven from this morning then?
We went from our home.
Which is where?
Eaton Bay.
Oh, right, and where are you going to?
But we've got to wait here now. My dad's coming.
Oh, right. What's wrong with it then? Let's have a look.
It's got a problem under here.
Golf Alpha 7. Is there any unit that can come and assist me, please, on Dunstable Road, next to the Esso garage?
Yeah, we're right behind you.
You do learn how to read people, and you do know how, when they're lying to you, you can pick it up pretty quickly, because they waffle, and they're a little bit woolly with their answers, so to speak.
So did you drive here then?
No.
How did you get here? Yeah. How have you got onto this forecourt?
My friend come and drove us here. Now he's gone. Have a look at.
Step away. Step away. Just step to the back of the car for me. Just go and step to the back of the car. I'm not going to bend down if you're that close to me. Just move away and I'll have a look.
Move back here with me, Jack.
Have you got the keys to your car?
Huh? What's the...
Nothing, they're both... Hang on, can I have the keys to your car? Just 2 seconds. Sorry. He's searching this guy's jacket.
Right.
Which made me think, is there something on him that he shouldn't have had? He's seen all the police cars around and wants to try and dump stuff. So I pulled up. They're being very cagey about how they've got here. They said there's something wrong with the car and they're waiting for someone to come and collect it. Okay. So I just want to have a quick check and get some details. Is that all right? Yeah, sorry.
Enough to give Spinham for a search then, or...?
The man in the baseball cap's story really doesn't add up. It's his car and he had the keys, yet he says somebody else who's not there has been driving it.
Well, no, that's why I'm wondering how your car's got here.
Told you, my friend. And then it bloody went kaput underneath.
Well, there's nothing hanging down.
Oh well, I don't really see.
So who is it? Your? No, that's all right. No, it's fine.
Yeah, but I don't really see why all these police cars are here. You know what for? Nobody was driving it when you come here.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, you know that. So I think I was getting my jacket out of the back.
So it's your car, is it, Paul?
Yeah, it's my car, but my brother's the one on the logbook.
Oh, right, OK.
Paul has got an explanation why he wasn't driving his car.
It's very annoying. I mean, I can't drive because I had a crash in 2002 and it was a stolen car and, you know, my girlfriend died and because of that, I think I've changed my life. You know, I loved her and so to drive for me would just be stupid and I wouldn't do it.
Paul is a disqualified driver.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. See, I haven't had no bad dealings with police for quite some time now. I used to be a real bad one. Right. Yeah, but I'm not anymore.
All right. Well, I mean,
Without any proof he was driving today, Shona's going to have to let him go. But it really rankles.
Even though he'd come up with this story, I still believed that he'd been driving, he'd seen the amount of police vehicles in the area, and I thought, actually, I better stop driving before I get caught driving and then leave the car and then come back when all the police cars have sort of disappeared. And that's what I had in the back of my mind.
But there is a glimmer of hope for Shona. She's going to check the garage's CCTV system to see if anything might have been caught on one of their cameras. And it has.
And the CCTV showed the
the chap with the baseball cap getting out of the driver's door. So this story of his mate driving him onto the forecourt, having broken down and left it there and waiting for recovery, was clearly just that. From just a little bit of police work and some questioning, we've got a disqualified driver. We've not even seen driving, but he's been caught on CCTV driving.
It's the end of the road for Paul. Even though his driving ban from 2002 was up, he had never bothered to retake his test and become a legal driver again.
So, you know, like, driving while disqualified, isn't it?
Yeah.
Charge you, no insurance, all that.
Yeah. When were you disqualified? A long time ago.
2002.
Yeah. Was that me that got you disqualified?
No, unless you was there when I had the
Paul's looking at a further disqualification from driving and will have his Jag seized. A bitter pill for him to swallow.
It is pretty bad because it's going to be quite horrific for him to not only be in an accident where somebody's died, but to have lost a loved one. It does make you think, oh, it must be quite hard for him to even get back in a car, let alone to consider driving it, especially when you've been disqualified.
Following the terrifying crossover accident near Toddington on the M1, the traffic is running normally again, and Bob's side of the investigation is all but over. He's discounted there being any mechanical problems with the lorry itself.
Using the plan, we can plot the vehicles through, identify impact points and vehicle movements.
And although his sketches tell the story of how it all happened, they can't begin to tell why it happened. However, there's been a discovery that could help answer the question.
In the cabin of the wagon that he was driving, we found various documents that related to him and his driver's history. Whenever people drive heavy goods vehicles professionally, they must keep a tachograph, which is effectively a record of how long they've been driving, how fast they've driven and how far they've driven. There are a few discrepancies over the course of a few months. On a few occasions it exceeded his daily driving allowance. He'd failed to take breaks and so forth. He had worked the previous night, finished in the wee small hours, and then had a telephone call from his driver's agency telling him that this particular company were a man short and that he would be required to work. That left him a fairly short amount of time between shifts.
We worked out he'd been without food for 17 and a half hours. We just couldn't believe that.
There's always a cause to an accident, whether that be a mechanical failure, whether that be someone's poor driving. There's always a cause to an accident. We obviously need to find out what his version of events are.
3 weeks after the accident, they are at last going to hear his side of the story. In order to do it formally, he's been summoned to the police station to be arrested on suspicion of dangerous driving.
We need to ascertain some detail from him that we're not able to just talk to him about. We need to do it formally so that we can gather his version of events as evidence. He remembered passing the services, and as he passed the entrance to the services, he remembered feeling a bit woozy, sweaty, clammy, and generally unwell. He considered moving to the hard shoulder, but that was coned off. He then thought that he could make it to the safety of the junction, and that was the last thing that he remembered.
However, he also revealed that when he was in hospital, it was discovered that he had a pre-existing medical condition that could cause him to lose consciousness. As a consequence, the Crown Prosecution Service decided it could not proceed with the case, despite a lack of sustenance also being a possible cause.
I presented the evidence to the CPS to say, this is what the hospital said, this was what we believe might have happened. Now, Andy and I think he had low blood sugar and he's passed out at the wheel because of the amount of time he has gone without food. And because of that, the CPS said, we can't run it, purely can't run it, because if a credible medical expert comes up and says, yes, he had that condition, it would be thousands of pounds wasted at court.
The driver of the crushed Passat who survived the impact with the lorry, Nigel Sweeney, has been left feeling frustrated, but lucky to be alive.
Jeez. It's... seeing it like that, it's... understand why, you know, the damage was done. As soon as I got into hospital, I thought to myself, well, how could that have happened? Why did the lorry swerve?
It's the first time he's seen the pictures of the crash.
See, even now I can't remember it like that. I just remember walking away. It's actually quite horrendous. It's worse than I thought it was. It took a time for the lorry to hit me, and I keep thinking to myself, maybe I could have avoided him. You know, could I have done something to have stayed out of his way?
Gee. Oh my God.
I'm glad I've seen it now, because it's actually different to what I remember, and now I can actually piece it all together. To be honest, I felt that I'd cheated death. Basically, I really thought I was going to die when I saw the lorry come bearing down on me.